All right, guys, let's get to NBA free agency because the big signing of last week was DeAndre Ayton being bought out by the Portland Trailblazers and signing with the Los Angeles Lakers, which seemed to be inevitable. And there have been a lot of other moves since then. And the move of today, there is a trade we'll get to in the next segment. But the biggest move of today is that the Orlando Magic paid Paolo Banchero a 5-year maximum rookie extension that could reach up to $287 million. Obviously, that is a move in-house and wasn't necessarily free agency, but it is a move that had to be made during the offseason. And Paolo is actually the first rookie to get a max since 2021 when Luka Doncic and Trae Young did so. And I thought about saving that for Shaun's pop quiz, but I thought that one might have been a little too easy. Anyways, Jaevon, I'm going to toss it to you on this one first. What are some NBA free agency moves that have stood out to you and why?
Well, I can start with the news that you just shared. Paulo Banchero, well deserved, face of the franchise. Basically, I think it equates to up to 57 a year, which is we're starting to get into the new CBA, the new money. These younger players are going to start getting that super max. But there's only going to be a couple of guys that are going to get that. Like Paulo is going to be one of those guys. Shea, I think Shea. Well, Shea hasn't gotten his yet, but he's going to be one of those guys, obviously. So the All NBA caliber younger generation of guys are going to end up getting paid. Um, yeah, so well deserved for him. We kind of saw that coming. He's going to be the guy that they build around for years and years to come. He should retire in Orlando Magic. Um, I mean, as far as other deals that we've seen today, it was John Collins to Miami for I don't know what the trade was off the top of my head, but
Well, we'll get to that trade in the next segment when we talk about the 4 trades that have happened recently in the NBA. But as far as free agency though,
I mean the Lakers. It's a name, DeAndre Ayton going to the Lakers, obviously getting bought out by um, the Blazers. They have a plethora of bigs over there already. And they already drafted a guy last year in Donovan Clingan out of UConn. So I mean, the Lakers upgraded. They had Jackson Hayes as their 3, but you see all the Laker fans on Instagram. We're back. We're back, guys. And I'm just like, are we back? Let's. How good is dominating? This is the guy that he was. He had the valley oop. You guys remember that in recent years when in the finals when they had the.
that was in the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers,
Was
right?
it? I think it was in the finals. Was that not in the finals?
Or was it in the finals? Okay,
That
I thought it was
was
in the.
in the finals.
It was against the Nuggets.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, so it was in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not Jackson Hayes. So I mean, how good of a center is DeAndre right now? Is he a top 9, 8? Like, where are we at on how good he actually is? He can score the ball better than I think he's score the ball better than Jackson Hayes. Like, I don't know how much better than that the Lakers got because he's a lob threat for Luka. I think what a lot of people aren't really talking about is that Luka Doncic kind of was their offseason. They traded for him last year, obviously. Half the year, I get it. Didn't really get a chance to get acclimated. It's tough for anybody in the middle of the season to go to a new team and just go to the finals. So it's just like kind of unheard of. But they're kind of focused on him being the new guy, and a lot of talks are around obviously LeBron James and what he's going to be up for. I think he's just going to sign a 2-year extension, a 2-for-1 basically, which basically gives him an option after the first year. So it's essentially a 1-year deal. He'll probably sign that. Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, how good are they going to be next year? Can they be the 3rd seed again? I'm not sure. But JJ Redick, aka Pat Riley, to Shaun Holko.
Yeah.
Got it in his first year. He got him to the third seed. So is it the genius behind the JJ Redick, or is it the roster that kind of lacks of for the Lakers? I don't know, but then again, they do have Luka Doncic on the team in his prime. So I mean, usually when Luka's healthy, his teams are pretty good. So I think they're kind of like, we'll be okay. But yeah, I feel like those are the top ones. I don't know if did we talk about Kevin Durant? We didn't talk about Kevin Durant. We did.
Yeah,
we did.
you guys covered it.
We did
The
talk.
one thing that should be noted about the Kevin Durant trade is that
17
it
did.
got expanded. Yeah,
Yeah.
it got expanded into the first 17 trade in NBA history, and basically, it's not really worth rehashing just because
I
the
thought the
key
Kings would
pieces.
be a part of that.
I wish.
Can't wait.
But yeah, basically the parameters of the deal that you guys already talked about a couple episodes ago, that's remained the same. The big pieces have moved, but it was just a bunch of second round picks and player to be named later, all that. But it somehow became a 7-team trade. And so, Kevin, what have been some free agency moves that have stood out to you and why?
I'm surprised Tyler didn't mention it. The Denver Nuggets. I have them as one of my winners as free agency. Trading off a guy like Michael Porter Jr. When they drafted him, they really drafted him for upside. He was supposed to be one of the best players in the country. He had a lot of back problems, so he really never got to pan out to being the guy that they needed him to be. We saw in that championship run Jamal Murray really expand his role into being one of the best number 2 best Robins in the NBA. And then he's kind of hit that wall. Aaron Gordon last postseason showed that he can be the third best player on a championship team. So now that you got your big three in the Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, you feel them around shooters. You feel them around depth. We saw they really tried to focus on their young guys. They let guys go like KCP, Bruce Brown. Now they brought Bruce Brown back. They bring in a guy like Tim Hardaway. They bring in a guy like Cameron Johnson. Just bringing more depth to Nikola Jokic. Christian Braun really showed his ass this playoff season, but then you guys got like Julian Strawther, who was really inconsistent, Peyton Watson, another guy who was really inconsistent. So to add those 3 guys to this mix, I think the Denver Nuggets definitely have to be one of the winners of free agency. And the Houston Rockets. Yes, Kevin Durant kind of expanded on the Kevin Durant trade, being able to bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, 41% three-point shooter to fill out that team. They brought in a guy like Clint Capella. They re-signed Steven Adams. So now we can see Alperen Sengun play his true position, which I think is the 4. I think he just played the 5 on the Rockets because of the depth they had. So to add him onto that team, re-sign Jabari Smith. I'm a big Jabari Smith guy. And another big thing that I saw was the Hawks. They made the trade for Porzingis, but to sign a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, we saw how big he was for the Timberwolves. We saw how much of an impact he had for the Timberwolves. And then to add a Dookie, Luke Kennard, a sharpshooter just to continue to add space around Trae Young, Kristaps Porzingis. I think the Hawks and the Nuggets are definitely one of my 2 winners. And then, the Los Angeles Lakers. Toddy said, can they make it to another top 3 seed? You're damn right they can. Toddy asked, how good is DeAndre Ayton? Is Giannis Antetokounmpo pretty good at basketball? Toddy?
I think he's
Joel Embiid pretty good at basketball?
I think he's pretty good, yeah.
The Joker pretty good at basketball?
Pretty good, Kevin.
Okay, so I bring that up because since the 2018 season, there is a list of guys to average 16 points, 10 rebounds on 50% efficiency. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, Domas Sabonis, and you guessed it, Toddy, DeAndre Ayton. Luka Doncic brings the best out of it. Derek Lively in his rookie year had more dunks than DeAndre Ayton in his whole career. Why is that, you say?